Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at EnableGOP, a component of OpenCore that can be embedded into your vintage Mac's firmware and provides native support for third-party and upgraded graphics cards. That enables a lot of capabilities, from booting non-Mac OS operating systems to using the built-in startup picker. So we're going to take a look at that first to see what it is that you might want to do this mod in order to achieve. So we're going to start by taking a look in the way back machine, the way Apple used to do things on PowerPC Macs with their built-in Open Firmware Startup Manager. Not quite ready for this, but we're going to start by installing macOS Server on this vintage PowerMac G4. This machine has been upgraded throughout the years to include 1.5 gigs of RAM, an aftermarket CPU card, and I got a bunch of extra ports in there as well. So it should be a good platform, and the install shouldn't take too long. So let's get to it. Look at what that startup picker has to offer. You get there by holding the Option key from Power On. Sure not coming up. Let's just hit that reset button. Try again. It's always something. Sure not seeing any video. It's a known good display. Well, certainly anticlimactic. I guess I will go figure out why it's broken. Turns out there wasn't actually anything wrong at all. The Blackmagic converter that I use for scaling and frame rate conversion to make this video recordable, for some reason doesn't like any video that comes out of this PowerMac G4. I suspect it's probably got something to do with the fact that it's fairly aggressively overclocked. Right from the get-go, I modified the clock generator circuit so that the front side bus is running at 150 instead of 133. The machine is not really designed to operate in that capacity, so it's the PCI bus would also be run out of spec. Back in the days, things were a little bit sketchier, so I had to actually put some wires onto the to pull some of the clock generator pins differently. Also, yes, with some special RAM, third-party CPU, and this card here is their eSATA ports, but that was the only 64-bit PCI SATA controller I could find. I've got a 64-bit gigabit card and a 64-bit FireWire 800 card as well. This graphics card is not anything particularly exciting. This machine was really just acting as a server, hence all the drives. It wasn't that nice of it. Ejected the disk for us there. So yeah, so signs of life. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to actually be loading the Mac OS server. So this is a Tiger distribution. 10.5, 10.4, here we go. Verbose startup action there. Disk utility. The rainbow wheel. Extended churned. Yes, please. No, 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 no. Yes. Surely it's fine. Yay! Having done that, let's take a look at that boot picker. There we go. So this is what it looks like. So this screen, you can use your mouse, you can use the keyboard. Once the watch finishes running. Yeah, so I thought I could use the keyboard. Now for something a little more modern. A 2010 Mac Pro with the stock NVIDIA GT 120 from Apple. Holding the Option key should get us to the boot picker menu. This card's natively supported, and we get boot screens, we get verbose boot, all of the stuff. So let's see what that looks like. Alright, and so we're given a couple of choices. Fusion SSD is my 8TB Catalina volume. I've got some EFI stuff in there that I was testing. And boot, which is a tiny 30GB SSD that I use to boot High Sierra. Just like that, here I am. Take a look at my system report. I can see that I've got, actual boot ROM versions and so forth. Let's take a look at something else. And now to take a look at the situation with only the new RX 580 metal graphics card. Got the Fusion drive already set as the default. It should remain on a black screen until my desktop appears. Ta-da! So any attempt prior to this to bring up the boot menu or to for example, run Linux will be met with no success. Put the GT 120 back and added a Linux drive. Now, I'm going to pick that Linux drive, and by holding the control key, I'll be able to set it as the default for the next step. And there we see Linux boots right up. All kinds of things and services and stuff. Now let's pull the 120 and see what happens when we boot purely with the 580. Now we should be moved over to the 580. Same DisplayPort cable, just into a different card. And we get nothing. Nothing to see here. Alright, option boot if you please. Voila. I added a Linux drive to the mix. Let's go, I believe, this right here. Ta-da! This is the OpenCore built-in graphics driver that appears when you boot. So that's the idea behind EnableGOP, is that if you bake it into the firmware, nothing else is required. But let's just take a look at how this picker works. I'm going to go ahead and remove the GT120 again and boot up purely on the RX 580. And with no further ado, we have our boot screen on the RX 580, booting into my Catalina Fusion drive. And there we go. With the OpenCore boot picker, we can even boot Linux, and it works normally. Oh no, it doesn't. Interesting.